What's going on, YouTube? It's SC, the place to be. Children, Mr. Andy, back to give you guys a Smackdown review, finally on time, right? From March 4th, 2023. Cody finally arrives at Smackdown to face the Tribal Chief, but more so than Cody being there, Roman Reigns comes back to work. So that's a big thing we got going on here. More build up to WrestleMania, and my feelings about this whole Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt thing. I'm gonna get to that. I'll probably get to more of it on the podcast this weekend. Look, it's been a long night. It's been a long Friday, and I still got a long weekend ahead of me. So I am a little bit drained. I am a little bit tired. So I do apologize if I look that way. But please bear with me on this one, guys, because I was like, I want to get this review out on time to you guys. I want to be able to do that because, you know, it gets kind of hard for me cause I work, to watch SmackDown, then to get off work, from a day like that, and then to try to come back and record it, have it up by Saturday morning, things like that. I was like, oh man, I remember when SmackDown was on Tuesday, it was a little bit easier, but SmackDown's better on Thursday or Fridays anyway, but still, for me personally, that's why y'all be getting late reviews, because I go right into the weekend work, and this is the way my job is set up, okay? But y'all ain't come here about my personal life or my job. Y'all came to hear about the American Nightmare going on to SmackDown. And that's how we kick off SmackDown. SmackDown starts off with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline coming down to the ring. And then, of course, Cody Rhodes comes in, adrenaline in my soul. So Cody gets in the ring. He's like, look, I'm not here for all the reckless negotiations. I'm here to have a conversation, man to man, with my WrestleMania opponent. And then I don't see any reason why your compadres have to be here, or companions, whatever they need to be here, unless they need to be. So Roman kind of laughs it off. He says, wise man, leave us. Solo too. Oh, the force is gone now. So it's just Cody and Roman in the ring. And Cody congratulates Roman Reigns for being the longest WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. And I like when Roman, he puts the one up like this, and then he winks into the camera. I thought that was cool. And then he said, but let me tell you a little something about me that you may know, you may not know. He said, I'm the kind of guy, because everybody may say, like, when it comes to Roman Reigns, it's impossible. But, I'm the kind of guy that, define the impossible, or define the little stuff that was put in my way. Such as I could have always been, Randy Orton's understudy, if y'all remember Legacy, and they got that. Or, there's no way that Stardust will survive. Remember that he said, there's no way 10,000 people would pay to see him and his buddy start a little indie show. That really got a pop because that's AEW. And then he said, for everybody else, Roman Reigns may be impossible, but not for me. And Reigns said, he's like, oh man, it's how you rehearsed that all week. Okay. He said, you may not like this, but I'm going to do this. So Roman takes off both his belts because the wise man gave it to him. So he lays down the WWE Championship, he lays down the Universal Championship. And then so he says, okay, hold on. He said, yeah, okay, you rehearsed that all week, but let me ask you something. Have you ever won one of these? The crowd popped for that. Then he says, okay, better question, have you even competed for one of these? Have you ever made an event at WrestleMania before? He said, because when it comes to that, I've done that. I've made an event at WrestleMania and competed for these stuff like that. Look, I'm seasoned, but you know what? Look, I was groomed, from a child for this, and then he says that, he brings up that's what he said. But you know what? Let's talk about your dad. He said, no, don't get all hissy and things like that, because I have way too much respect for your dad to, talk about all the, or like to degrade such a man like Dusty Rhodes. And then he said, but he had too much. He said, but he don't put the confidence in him. We talked, a lot of times, all night and things like that. And then he said, let me try to do. He said, let me see if I can do a dream. And he would be like, baby, say you got it, man. You got it. No, ain't no what about it. You got it. And I was like, that's a pretty damn good Dusty impression, Roman. That's a pretty damn good one. And he said, we would talk for hours and hours, stuff like that. And he said, but you know what he said about you? nothing. He ain't say nothing about you. Like you didn't even exist. And now maybe he said something to you about Seth or Cody, either Seth or Owens or Becky. But when it comes to us, we ain't never talk about you. They didn't know you was even existed. And then he said, "But look," and he picks up the belts. He says, "Whatever Dusty didn't teach you, I will." And so Cody's sitting there like, "Okay, so you didn't send the wise man up to Monday Night Raw." He said, "You sent him up there for the truth." Well, so you're saying that the truth is that one of the fabled Dusty's kids is better than Dusty's actual real kid. That changes everything. Because if that's true, then this becomes a necessity to beat you at WrestleMania. And because if all this stuff is true, this is the only way that I am seen and the only way I am necessary is if I beat you. So he says, "Hand," I said, "Let the best man win." And they shook hands and then they walked off. I know there's gonna be more build. We got 4 more weeks, so there's gonna be more build to this. But I'm saying, right now they are on track with an awesome segment opening. I enjoyed everything when it comes to the Cody and Roman, because it needed to happen. Cody need to go to SmackDown. Now, will they get physical? Will they do the pull apart brawl? Is it going to be all just promos? Is it going to be, Cody going up against Solo Sikoa at one point? And actually, getting them reps in. I hope so. You know what I'm saying? So we because obviously we needed more time. Cody got injured, but we needed more time to build the story. But we got 4 weeks, so we're gonna see what they can do. Next matchup: Rhea Ripley taking on Liv Morgan with Dominic Mysterio. Liv Morgan was pretty good, especially she hit about like 4 code breakers to try to take Rhea out, but then Rhea kicked out of it. Liv tries to go to the top rope to do like a double front drop kick. Rhea catches her in a powerbomb. Then she gives her the riptide, but instead of pinning her, she puts her in that reverse clover leaf, and then puts her knee on her neck, like old school lion tamer style. Put the knee right there on the neck, and Liv taps out, and Rhea Ripley wins. She's out there with Dominic Mysterio. Backstage, Jimmy Uso, he laughing, talking. He says, Jay needs a hot hit, man. He needs time. And Roman says he's running out of patience, but not with Jay, with Jimmy. And Jimmy's like, okay, I'll let him know. Backstage, Santos Escobar told Dominic Mysterio after they showed what the Dominic did last week with his dad, that Ray should have punched you in the face last week. But I understand why he couldn't, but he can. Adam Pearce he said, yeah, he can. Adam Pearce agrees, and they're going to teach him a lesson about respect. He'll go out to the ring. If Dominic is half the man he say he is, he'll meet him in the, meet him hombre. And then he said, "Oh, and mommy, mwah." So we get Santos Escobar taking on Dominic Mysterio. Dominic was the heel in this matchup, obviously distractions by Rhea Ripley. Honestly, I was just like, man, Santos really shouldn't be giving up this much offense to Dominic. There's multiple kinds of heels, right? There's the chicken shit heel, which Dom needs to, needs to be though. Then you also got the heel that's just like Roman Reigns, just a powerful ass heel. Dom, for me, got too much offense in the match against Santos Escobar. Personally, even when Santos came out with his mask and then he beat him up a little bit, and then he had Santos on the ropes and he was just hold his face against Ray's mask. I'm like, oh, fuck that, Dom. I'm sorry. Rhea Ripley pulled Escobar out to the ring and gave him a riptide and threw him back in the ring. Then Dominic Mysterio hit the frog splash and won the matchup. I mean, he wasn't going to win clean, but I still felt as though Santos offensive. After the match, Dom takes the mask that Santos brought to the ring and rips it up. And then when Ray came to meet him on the stage, he picked it up and Dominic punched him. I was like, yo, Ray, kick his ass. I mean, he's building to it, but come on now, kick his ass. They showed Sami Zayn earlier in the crowd, people saying the bloodline's going down, like a little cell phone video type thing. Then we get to the ring. Drew McIntyre comes out, and he's just like, look, WrestleMania's coming up, but Drew McIntyre doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. He says, well, guess what? He's going to call out Gunther for a shot in the Intercontinental Championship. But instead of Gunther coming out, Sheamus comes out. And Sheamus is upset. He says, you going to just go behind my back like that? He said, you know how much I want the Intercontinental title. You know how much I wanted out of 15 years I've been here, and that's the only title Sheamus has ever won. Sheamus is one of the guys that have the most underrated, resume in wrestling. He's a Royal Rumble winner. He's a Money in he's a Money in the Bank winner. Sheamus is a world champion. He's a WWE champion. He's a United States champion. He's a tag team champion multiple times. Like, this man he's a King of the Ring winner. This man, like, every major wrestling thing that happened from Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, WrestleManias, and all championships, Sheamus has done all that. The only thing Sheamus has not done is win the Intercontinental Championship. That is crazy to me, right? When you sit back and think about that. And he was sitting like, you know how much that title means to him, and he was going to challenge Gunther, because honestly that's what we all wanted. And he said he called Drew a backstabbing bastard. Drew says, hold on, let's be honest here, don't take it the wrong way, but if you want to be real, you lost. You had your chance, you lost twice. Okay, second time it could be controversial, but you lost twice. Okay. And then LA Knight comes out. So LA Knight says, oh, hold on now. You know that we can't have a WrestleMania without LA Knight. Yeah. Okay, so as he comes out to the ring, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Could they add LA Knight to make it a fatal 4-way type thing? But I still think it would be a better as a triple threat, or even just a Sheamus versus Gunther type thing for the third time. But then, after LA Knight comes out, the New Day come out. And the New Day come out, and then they talk about some LA Knight keeps begging about, you can't have a LA WrestleMania without LA Knight, but you haven't even won a match on SmackDown yet. So they laughing at him. Then Karrion Kross comes out, and he comes out his Miami Vice shirt. I'm just like, this shirt don't fit your persona at all. I know it's probably what you had on, but it don't. And then all of a sudden, they just start fighting. And then all of a sudden, Drew started fighting something like that, and then all of a sudden, they take out LA Knight, knocks his head, into Drew McIntyre, and then Woods and Kofi get knocked out, and LA Knight gets knocked out, and Karrion Kross is still on the outside, and then it looked like Drew McIntyre was going to give a Claymore kick to Sheamus, and he doesn't. They just stare each other down. Then Sheamus is out the way, and then Drew goes and dives over and takes out the New Day and LA Knight, and then all of a sudden, Kross starts fighting. Jumps Sheamus and throws him shoulder first to the ring post, and then he goes in the ring and says tick-tock. So, the classic build-up thing, like, honestly, the field is looking kind of nice. I was like, the one thing I hoped that they would not do, which they didn't, thank God, is that usually when Vince is booking these kind of things, when it comes to the mid-card championship, they be like this, hey, just get 5-6 guys that's not doing nothing at WrestleMania, throw a ladder in there and let them have a match, right? I can tell you from WrestleMania 31, WrestleMania 32, WrestleMania, it was for the tag team. WrestleMania 30, like, they'll just throw a ladder in there to get guys on the card, just to, to do that kind of stuff. So it's just a little bit different. Like, we're going to build for this. So it showed that Adam Pearce made a fatal 5-way match between Kofi, LA Knight, Karrion Kross, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and the winner will face Gunther at Mania. Now, will they still find a way to make a triple threat between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre? I don't know. Will they just decide to go with Drew McIntyre? I don't know. Will they decide to go with Sheamus? I don't know. Will they try to make it a 6-pack challenge? I don't know. I really don't know. And I was sitting like, because when you have decisions like Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley, which I will get to, or Brock Lesnar versus Omos, you can't naturally help but think that you got Vince doing something. Even though I know Triple H talks to Vince, but he's doing something, right? So you can't help but to think, like, where's this thing going to go? Me personally, I like to see Sheamus and Gunther 3. And underneath that, I'll take a Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther matchup. And that's it. I don't need no 6-pack challenge. I don't need no fatal 5-way. And I not for the people that's in this matchup, I don't need no ladder match. Not for no Gunther and Karrion Kross. No, I don't need no ladder for this. Like no, I'm sorry. And like, I will talk this week about the podcast about which one the smaller WrestleMania and how there's clashings backstage. But right now, I would want Sheamus to win it, or they do the triple threat. But those are the only options. But we gotta see what's going to happen with them. Shayna Baszler comes out to take on Tegan Nox. Honestly, this was not a very interesting matchup. It was background noise to me. Shayna Baszler wins, obviously, with the armbar, which out there with Natalya and Ronda Rousey out there with Shayna. It was nothing really going to happen. Bobby Lashley makes his way to the ring. Bobby Lashley back on SmackDown. Oh, welcome back to 2006 when he was feuding with Simon Need or Fit Finlay. If y'all remember the old SmackDown days and seeing Bobby Lashley on SmackDown. So he comes out, but then, okay, the Wyatt logo flash on the screen. Then we go to a commercial. And then when we come back, he's just sitting there, smiling, panning to the crowd. I'm just like, I hate that transition. I hated it. And then he says, so Bray Wyatt told him to run, but he doesn't run from anybody. So he said, if Bray Wyatt won't see him face to face, he'll come to SmackDown and confront him. And then all of a sudden, this Uncle Howdy video appeared on the Titantron. Then Uncle Howdy started attacking Lashley from behind. And then he comes off the ropes, but Lashley gave him the Ron Simmons Spinebuster, and he was going for the spear. The lights go out, they come back, he's gone, and Lashley's in the ring. Hated it. I hated every bit of that shit. I hated it because one, I was just like, that ain't the same Uncle Howdy. This feels like Vince McMahon stuff because this Uncle Howdy has been resulted to nothing and nothing special anymore. We don't even have a payoff to that story anymore. Because it's like, who is Uncle Howdy? Who is the Wyatt Six? What's going on with that? Nothing. It's like it's going by the wayside. This Uncle Howdy that came in there that's doing this like kind of like methodical laughing. And I was like, this gotta be Bo Dallas. And he sits there and like he's very skinny. The mask, and if you look at the mask of Uncle Howdy first came back, and then now like this is different. I'm like, no. Nobody wants this match. Bobby got stuck with this match because Brock said, I'm not working with Bray. I don't blame him. Brock ain't got time for all this shit. And he's like, all right, I'll just take Omos. And it's like, well, now Bobby got to be stuck with Bray. And nobody wants this. This is going to probably be one of the worst matches on that card. And it ain't because of Bray Wyatt or Bobby. It's because this is the biggest miscasting of styles that's been in the wrestling matchup. The Bobby Lashley style and Bray Wyatt style do not mix, okay, at all. You can't. It's like if you play a general manager mode or 2K22, right? And it's just like, well, look, like this brawler and this, and this giant, like these things ain't gonna work. Where case may be, I'm just saying those styles are not going to mesh well. And what's the story? There's no story. Why even attack Bobby or Brock anyway? The story should have been once Bray came back, was revealing this Wyatt Six group, figuring out who Uncle Howdy is, what's going on with Alexa Bliss, and we just resulted back to Firefly Funhouse Bray doing the dumb, stupid, creepy stuff with no context at all against Bobby Lashley for what? For what? This just sucks. It sucks. I won't even go more on it on the podcast, so I don't take up too much time on the review. But oh my god, this stuff sucks. And you can't. There's no 4 weeks. You got 4 weeks to even try to sell me on it, and I don't think you're gonna do it. And it's just look at Uncle Howdy. Like, look at him when he first came to now. Like the mask looked cheaper. It got mad skinny. Like I think all the stuff that Bray and Triple H was trying to work on when he first came back is out the door. I think Vince like, look, I gotta step in here because you're killing it. And I'm just like, it has to be that. Look, if Vince is not involved in anything else, even though there are reports that Vince is still pitching ideas and working with creative, and Triple H has the final say. Okay, that could just be PR bullshit. Okay, to be honest with you, but if nothing else screams Vince McMahon, Bobby and Bray and Brock and Omos scream McMahon. Scream it, okay? Jimmy Uso told Reigns he got a hold of Jay and Jay needs more time. Reigns says Jay needs more time. Jimmy said See, Jimmy, excuse me, he said to leave him the hell alone. Reigns says he doesn't understand how he could do this to him after everything we've done for him. Reigns says none of this started happening until Sami Zayn came along. Okay? He says, so we're going to go fix the problem. And he wants Jimmy out there with Solo, and he wants him to get rid of Sami Zayn. And then when he do that, Jay will come home. Simple as that. Right? But if Jay's not back in the bloodline in 1 week, he's not going to blame Sami. He's going to blame Jimmy. Okay. See, like, stuff that actually works, so I'm pretty cool with it. Solo Sikoa taking on Sami Zayn. It was a decent matchup. Sami got the Blue Thunder Bomb out on Solo Sikoa. But as he was going for a haluva kick, I don't know if Jimmy was late to this, but he kind of moved Solo out the way, and then Sami missed it. Then he got Samoa spiked, and then Solo wins the matchup. After the matchup, they beat down Sami Zayn, and then they put a chair around his throat so Solo can give him the hip attack in the corner. But Jimmy no. You mess with us, he gonna get got. So let me do this. So as he's about to take too much time to do it, Sami gets up, throws the chair at Solo, and gives a haluva kick to Jimmy Uso, and then runs out the ring into the crowd. And then they stand down, and you can see Jimmy is pissed off that he did not get the job done. So, and even if they show Roman Reigns behind on the TV, getting even more pissed at it as well. And that was your SmackDown review, guys. Because how do I feel about SmackDown? Cody and Roman was excellent. I think that's what I liked on this show. Other than Cody stuff, I mean, setting up for the Intercontinental Championship, fine for the Fatal 5-Way. That should be a decent matchup, but we're going with that. Bobby and Bray. Each week is getting worse. Okay, each week is getting worse, and I'm like, y'all gotta do better. Kind of help me out here. Y'all gotta do better. But you can post out your comments down below how you guys feel about SmackDown. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE content right here, or wrestling content in general, 2K content, news, and pop culture right here on SC Studios. So once again, it's NC the place to be. Children, Mr. A&D, and the Nerd Coalition is out.